Today, I want to talk about how to choose the right sharpening stone. You've never seen the other videos. Hi, it's Jack from Hefes. There's a lot of confusing, even bad advice out there. Cheap one is enough. Just use any 1000 grit. You must do this, you must do that. I know because I've tried it most of all. When I was a chef, I've spent thousands of dollars on stones, from the cheapest one to expensive natural stone, just to save sharpening time and get better result. And I realized most people run into the same problem. Maybe you just bought your first kitchen knife and you are wondering which stone to get. Or maybe you already own a stone, but you are not sure if it's the right match for your knives. I'll share a simple and unique guide based on my experience and refer to books like The Complete Blacksmith and the Japanese text Togi no Kihon. It means basic of sharpening, but not in the nerdy way. So you're not gonna waste your money or time on the wrong sharpening stone. Let's get started. Sharpening stones are usually divided into four types: water stone, ceramic stone, and diamond and natural stone. Water stone. These are the most common, made by corundum. You soak them in the water before use, and they are affordable. The downside is they often need long soaking. They also wear down quickly. With harder knives, they dish fast and lose flatness. These are made by firing special ceramic material. You don't need to soak them long, just splash and use. They work well even with hard professional knives. They last longer than water stones, though they cost a bit more. Diamond stones. A diamond stone is steel plate coated with diamond particles. They stay flat and are good for repairing chips or flattening other stones. At first, I thought they were the ultimate solution. Fast cutting, strong, efficient. So I bought a few and tested them, but reality was different. They left deep scratches on blades. Over time, the diamond particles started to falling off. The cutting powder dropped and never came back. Unlike ceramic or water stones, you can't flatten or reset them. Once the coating wears, you have no choice but to replace the plate. Natural stones. These are acquired from the earth. They have unique feel and finish, but they are expensive. Each one is inconsistent, not ideal for beginners. I don't really recommend them except for high-end hobbyists. The grit number works like sandpaper. Lower number means coarse, higher number means fine. Honestly, there's a lot more to say here, but it gets too nerdy, so I will keep it simple. Up to 800, we can call it coarse grit. It's for restore dull knives and remove chips. From 1000 to 3000 grit, put on a working edge. And from 5000 and above, refine the surface and reduce cutting resistance. If you only buy one stone, I recommend start with 1000 grit. Sharpening stones need lubrication, usually water. Traditional water stone should be soaked about 10 minutes into the water, and ceramic stones only needs a splash before use. Some people use oil or soapy water on carbon steel knives to prevent rust, but it reduces friction and makes sharpening slower. That's why it's not popular today. These days, people sometimes add baking soda to water for the carbon steel knife sharpening, but if your sharpening time is short, plain water is fine. First, always flatten your stone. If it's hollow, your knife will never sharpen evenly. The angle is the key. About 15 degrees is standard. I use a card angle guide I made myself. It makes holding the angle easy. I have another video on how to make one. I will link it. On coarse stone, raise a burr. On fine stones, remove the burr with light stroke. I won't go deep into sharpening technique in this video. Check my separate how to sharpen a knife video for that. You will see the link at the top right. When people first start, they often ask, cheap stone works fine. Isn't corundum enough? For cheap knives, yes, but for harder pro knives, soft stone dish too fast. Ceramic lasts longer, and in the long run, it's more economical. Higher grit is always better, right? Not really. If your knife is chipped or dull, fine stone will take forever. Isn't diamond the best? As I showed earlier, no. They lose consistency, wear out, and aren't cost effective. If I can't hold the angle, doesn't everything fail? True, but here's the thing. With soft stone on hot knives, you can't tell if the problem is your angle or if the stone itself worn down mid sharpening. If you are using premium knives or aiming to improve, go straight to ceramic. It's more stable and better value. Unlike knives, the end game stone is ceramic. Don't waste money on duplicates, just start high. My recommendation goes like this. First buy 1000 grit. Next, add 300 to speed up heavy work. At the end, a 5000 grit for refinement. When I started, I went from 1000 straight to high grit stones, but I found that workflow wasn't efficient. Too slow, too tired, and the result wasn't great. Now, I do most of the work on 300, about 60%, then 20% finishing on 1000, and only 10% light polish on 5000 grit. That balance gives me the best result. Why not just buy 300 first, you might ask? Because if you stop at 300 grit, the edge is way too rough for real cooking. 1000, on the other hand, can stand alone and still make a usable edge. That's why I recommend starting with it. And whenever possible, go for ceramic stones. They give you the best performance for the cost. So in the end, ceramic stone 1000 grit, also ceramic stone 300, and 5000. That's the most efficient setup. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe.